rail. Your miss should be towards the lower rail. When you're trying to get above the barrel, get up top. And it's a little bit like last time we saw a couple of our pitchers going in, miss over the plate, going away, yank it in to a lefty. Like those are bad misses. And Casey holds himself to a super high bar where his misses need to match his intent. And when he does that, the split plays better, the slider plays better, the sweeper plays better, and ultimately his fastball plays better. And obviously against this type of team who's swinging the bat the way that they are, the pitches you nail are obvious. The pitches you don't need to be in the vicinity of where you're trying to go.
And the length of that bullpen was just simply his.
We had a week off, so we gave him the extra couple of days, and pitchers, certainly pitchers who are working on things, take it and use the time accordingly. Sometimes
That's Gus Judge. His owner is Aaron Judge, captain of the Yankees. His dog park is Yankee Stadium. Ooh, I'd bowl in that grass for days. Bet he gets to fetch those dingers. I'm sure Aaron chases him like that around the house. Aaron's also the nicest human ever. Just not to baseballs. My human, he eats shredded cheese by the handful. I hope Gus knows just how good he's got it.
Wow. It's like an Academy Award came to life. How long do you think that took to get ready?
You know, it's really not fun facing a guy with that kind of stuff, I'll just tell you that.
Presented without comment.
It's a raft, it's got an outboard motor, it's got a little barbecue, and it's got a hot tub.
Look at that.
I mean, come on.
American ingenuity.
That is living. What else can go wrong here?
Where are the Yankees in the outfield? They're everywhere.
Like build this for them and spend the last year of coming up with this concept and getting it off the ground and getting everybody here. Like, it just feels really good to have everybody coming and experiencing the thing that we've been working so hard on. To be able to like take the experiences of Comic-Con and add that to a card show just is really fulfilling, because as somebody who grew up going to card shows and still goes to the same card show in the same church basement in Trumbull, Connecticut every month, like, it's great. Card shows are amazing, but to be able to add all of this experience is what makes this great.
Voice of the Tigers here. If your current defense can't handle a lineup of pests, it's time to make a call to the bullpen. Mow down pests of all kinds year-round with the Rose Home Service Program. Depending on your needs and budget, you can choose from basic, advantage, or premium levels, all of which come with a dedicated technician. The Home Service Program is the ideal way to stay ahead of pest invasions all year long. Pest problem? The Rose Home Service Program is the solution. Call the pros at Rose at 800-966-ROSE or visit rosepestsolutions.com.
Jeff Rieger with Around the League from the 1-800-CALL-SAM studios, brought to you by Big B Coffee, the official coffee of the Detroit Tigers. The New York Yankees just called. They want their division back. At least that's how they're playing these days. The Yankees were in first place in the American League East for the majority of the first half of the baseball season, and then from nowhere, the Toronto Blue Jays not only caught them, but at one point had a 6.5-game lead on them for first place, and it looked like Toronto had stolen the AL East. But the Yankees still have something to say about it, and New York has been red hot, going 8-2 in their last 10, and they won again yesterday. New York and Houston taking on the first-place Astros. What a ball game for Jazz Chisholm Jr. Homered in the second inning, then he did it again in the eighth inning when New York was already up big.
Driven deep to right field. If it's fair, it's gone. It's fair, it's gone.
Another home run for Jazz Chisholm. And the Yankees are up 7-1.
Yankees win at 7-1. Chisholm with an OPS very close to 850. And New York is now just 2.5 games behind Toronto for first place in the AL East. Crazy thing, too, is it's not just the Yankees trying to catch the Jays. The Red Sox have also been really hot, and they, too, just 2.5 games out of first place in the division. Gonna be a wild finish in the American League East for the rest of September. Around the league from the 1-800-COLES-HAM studios, brought to you by ESPN Bet. Take Casey Mize to strike out 5 or more Mets. You get very nice odds at plus 160. ESPN Bet, the official sportsbook of ESPN and the only place to find exclusive offers. Download the ESPN Bet app.
That's Gus Judge. His owner is Aaron Judge, captain of the Yankees. His dog park is Yankee Stadium. Ooh, I'd bowl in that grass for days. Betty gets to fetch those dingers. I'm sure Aaron chases him like that around the house. Aaron's also the nicest human ever. Just not to baseballs. My human, he eats shredded cheese by the handful. I hope Gus knows just how good he's got it.
It is a 1933 Gaudi Babe Ruth card. It is 8.5 PSA. It's graded higher than the one in the Smithsonian.
This card at one point came with a packet or a stick of chewing gum.
This card actually is almost a century old. It was bought for a penny.
So the fact that just the heritage of a card like this is now coming up almost 90 years later into an auction, it's a pretty special moment.
Wanted the game to go.
There's not a ton of good that you can take from it. Most of it's just like a flush and win tomorrow. But, I think the way we fought back, even if it's in the 9th inning, to make them bring in a guy like Stanek is huge. And then, I think there's a little bit of positive, but most of it was just kind of flush.
9th inning, when you can start applying that pressure, how has that kind of become a part of this team's identity, being able to bounce back like that?
Yeah, I think we just tell ourselves every single day that no matter what the score is, we're never out of it, and to always keep fighting back. Because even though it was, a loss, it could end up being a win today. Just having them use a bullpen arm to keep them in the game for all 9 innings, not just roll over and let them, kick our butt and then pray we win tomorrow. I thought we did a good job fighting back.
McLean was really great yesterday. It's really hard to go into a game when you haven't actually been able to see a guy for an at-bat yet. How do you prep for something like that?
Yeah, we got really good scouting reports on a guy, and I thought we did really well. We got off to a pretty good start, but I mean this league's tough. I feel like they kind of kicked us in the teeth a little bit, and then when you give a guy with that good of stuff, a lead, it just makes his stuff that much better. So I mean, I thought we did a really good job and had good at bats, and for a pitcher with really good stuff and really good pitches, I thought we did a fine job.
What was some stuff from him yesterday that impressed you?
He's more of like a stuff guy, I would say. He didn't seem like he cared too much about location. He was just kind of, here's my stuff, hit it. So I think that's encouraging for him to where, he learns how to, pitch around the barrels a little bit. It's going to be even better. But just his shapes were impressive.
Mm-hmm. Something that you said earlier made me think of this. AJ talked yesterday about we'll continue to show up one day at a time, even though people want to keep talking about the future, talking about the past. We're here today, and we're not going to worry about what's to come, but other people can do that. How has that kind of been like an identity or talk around the clubhouse for you guys? What does that do for you guys moving forward?
Yeah, AJ sets the tone in spring training of like, no matter what, we're going to take it one day at a time, and we're going to control what we can control in this clubhouse. And, I feel like that's just kind of been burned into us, and that anyone can say anything. It's not really going to bother us. We're going to control what we can control and try to win every single day, and I think that's been pretty successful this far. It's not bulletproof, but I think it's the most sustainable way.
Thanks, Spencer. Appreciate your time.
Yep, of course.
Spencer Torkelson for today's From the Field Report. We have more pregame coming up in the next couple minutes on the Detroit Tigers Radio Network.
That's Gus Judge. His owner is Aaron Judge, captain of the Yankees. His dog park is Yankee Stadium. Ooh, I'd bowl in that grass for days. Betty gets to fetch those dingers. I'm sure Aaron chases him like that around the house. Aaron's also the nicest human ever. Just not to baseballs. My human, he eats shredded cheese by the handful. I hope Gus knows just how good he's got it.
I can't imagine transitioning from loving baseball cards to then knowing it's inevitably coming that you're going to be on baseball cards. What was that moment like for you?
Yeah, I think the first card I saw was when they did something for USA Baseball, and then now seeing my face, seeing me playing baseball on a card, it was surreal. It wasn't that it was that moment where like, wow, this is really something.
It's time to play ball with the call of the game from the Metro Detroit Buick GMC dealers broadcast booth at Comerica Park. Here are the voices of Tigers baseball, Dan Dickerson and Dan Petrie.
Clear skies, light breeze, another sunny, beautiful day in downtown Detroit. Hello again, everyone. We're getting ready to wrap up this three-game series with the Mets, and I'm ready to get the Mets out of town, Dan Petrie. I mean, this team has been hitting the ball. Again, Tigers looking to get back on track. This is an important start, it feels like, for Casey Mize.
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, right now, all the pitchers are kind of looking for that, consistency that we talked a little bit about last night. Who's going to be the guy that's going to follow Tarek Skubal, in the postseason? And, I think that's what guys are shooting for, is to get into that consistent role where H.A. Hinch and the coaching staff know exactly what they're going to get each and every time they go out.
Casey Mize is going for his 13th win of the year today. Clay Holmes, never been a starter in his major league career until the Mets signed him in the offseason, turned him into a starter, and he's been pretty solid. He's a 5-inning guy, but he's been solid for the Mets this year. Tigers and Mets wrapping up the three-game series. Mets have scored 22 runs in winning the first two games of this series. The lineups have been exchanged at home plate. Tigers about to take the field. Let's check today's starting lineups with Dan.
Today's starting lineups are brought to you by Comerica Bank. Only one bank has been committed to Michigan since 1849. That's Comerica. Leading off for the Mets.
Celebra tú también con Betcris.
Shohei Ohtani doesn't make any sense. A hitter that pitches and steals bases. No way. A living legend who's this humble? No way. Ohtani isn't a one-way player or a two-way player. He's a no-way player.
Area 76 degrees with low humidity. First pitch today will be brought to you by McLaren Health, the official healthcare system of the Detroit Tigers. Tigers come in at 80 and 60, still with a comfortable lead in the Central. The Mets 75 and 64 with a sizzling offense. And they now get ready to face the 28-year-old. From Springville, Alabama, making his 24th start of the year, Casey Mize.
Yeah, Casey was given an extra day between starts just to clean up a few things in his delivery to help on his execution. Had a good splitter the last time out, generating 7 misses on 13 swings, and he'll need that today going up against these Mets left-handed hitters that have done a lot of damage in this series so far.
It's been a real puzzle because we talked about it early in that game. It was a really good splitter, and it looks like this is going to be a good night for Casey. And the next thing you knew, he was getting battered around in Sacramento. And that's been kind of what we've seen this year. It can be both his best pitch and his most hittable pitch. Francisco Lindor in the box. He swings at a fastball to start things off, pops it up, fouling out of play, and we are underway here at Comerica Park in downtown Detroit. So glad to have you along for the wrap-up of this 3-game set. Nothing but sunny skies. Tigers trying to salvage the finale with a win today. Off day tomorrow, and get ready for the White Sox coming in this weekend. Infield alignment behind Casey Mize. Colt Keith at third. He's going to hang by the bag at third in tight to guard against the bunt possibility. McKinstry at short, shades up the middle. Torres at second. Torkelson at first. Strike one. Fastball up and in. The outfield has Green in left. Javi Baez, who's been just outstanding in center field, is in center today. Wenzel Perez is in right. Lindor batting from his stronger left side, the 1-1. Up and away. Dan, let's talk about the work that Casey Mize is doing because it feels so important. He had a 2.60 ERA through his first 15 starts, and it was not a mirage. There was some good fortune involved. Swing and a miss. That's a good splitter down. It has been a struggle. His last 8 starts, there have been a couple of good starts in there. 10 strikeout game against Minnesota, where I thought maybe the best stuff he'd ever had. 2-2, swinging a jam job fly ball. Softly to center field. Javi Baez barely has to move. 2 steps to his left, makes a catch, 1 up and 1 down. And then the command started to come and go. Even as, like you said, he had a good splitter last time out. The command was all over the place, and as AJ said, once he starts misfiring, it starts putting pressure on all of his pitches.
Yeah, there's too many of those mistakes. It's like, man, he's got really good stuff, and the next thing you know, a splitter hangs, and boom, there's a big home run. Or he slider backs up, and boom, there's a big base hit.
Juan Soto at the plate. First pitch, fastball. That's going to be a key, locating that pitch away from Juan Soto. I don't know how you pitch to Juan Soto.
I don't think there's any pattern whatsoever. It's just to try to mix it up, and hopefully
he bunts down the third base line. Keith will charge, field throw, not in time. Are you kidding me? Why? Juan Soto just bunted his way on after going 4 for 7 with 2 home runs, 3 walks, a stolen base, and 7 RBIs in the first 2 games.
I guess in a way you just say, okay, if you're going to bunt, go ahead and take it. You know,
I think the Tigers will take that every time.
That's what I mean. Instead of just launching them into the seats, just say, yep, okay. Now, again, this is going to be interesting just to watch this
Can the Tigers stop Juan Soto at first base? They did in game one, picked him off, and it ended up being a caught stealing as he took off for second base. Alonso takes a strike. Until that point, he'd been 26 for 27, but then yesterday he did what he's been doing a lot this year. Takes that secondary lead, then a walking running lead, and then he goes into second base almost uncontested. Swing and a miss, fastball. How about that swing? That's 96 middle, and Alonso, who can hit a fastball, was late.
And that's a really good sign, too, that Casey Mize is paying close attention to Soto at first base, but not forgetting about the hitter.
The 0-2, swinging a foul out of play. So, Dan, what are the things that Casey get an extra long bullpen session to try to get back on track? What are the kinds of things he's working on to get back to that guy we saw earlier in the year?
You know, a lot of times guys want to keep their body under control, but Casey really wants to try to speed up his...
Juan Soto took off, and he's going to be picked off. Mize to Torkelson to Torres, and they handle it. They do it, Dan.
That's perfect. They had to talk about it because of what happened in last night's game. And Casey Mize just didn't panic whatsoever. Just stayed nice and calm until Juan Soto got a little bit anxious over there, took those couple of hops, and then everybody screaming, step off, was able to step off and get him trapped in between first and second.
Got help from Jake Rogers. Great replay on our FanDuel Sports Monitor. Jake Rogers simply pointed to first base because, like you said, they had talked about it. They'd talked about it probably ad nauseum coming into the series. But sometimes the brain just doesn't allow you to do the simple thing, right?
Any little help.
Ground ball deep in the hole at short. That'll get by McKinstry into left field. Pete Alonso, soft ground ball single on a 1-2 pitch. Really interesting hearing AJ talk about it. Andy asked him about it before the game in his media session about what do you do? And he says basically, it without saying it's simple, it's like vary your times to home. What the Mets have exploited, and it feels like, Dan, they're maybe the first team to do it, they've exploited the fact that pitchers are now holding on to the ball longer, letting the clock get down to 3-2. And so they've decided they're going to start taking off at that point, swing and a miss, banking on the fact that pitchers have a hard time at that point just stepping off and throwing over.
That's it exactly, and because they're concentrating on, it's so conditioned of hurry up and get rid of the ball, knowing that, hey, all you have to do, just like Casey Mize is get back and step off.
Pass ball up and in, and we saw last night, Sir Gibson Long literally couldn't do that.
Right.
As Soto is walking off first base and starting towards second base, he just literally couldn't step off. Casey Mize with an assist from Jake Rogers, who helpfully pointed toward first, just stepped off. And Soto, who has stolen a lot of bases this year, uncontested. And I would call the one last night uncontested.
Oh, it was. Yeah.
Even though Dingler threw down. Now the Tigers have picked him off twice.
And Casey and Jake Rogers work well together. Not only does he point, but sometimes he'll drop that glove when he wants him to pick off over there.
2-1, splitter down. Tap foul. That's a really good splitter at 90.
And that's what he's trying to do when we were talking about the things that he did in between starts, getting that extra day, is quickening up that upper body, making so his arm can get through better so that split finger does not roll, does not hang up. It's at the bottom of the strike zone and has that really good late life to it.
Nimmo waiting the 2-2, swinging a ground ball to second base to his right. Torres will backhand, flip to McKinstry at second for the force on Alonso. Another solid pitch down, hit into the ground. Nimmo bounces into the force. Tigers do a nice job controlling the Mets on the base paths in the first inning. We go to the bottom of the first inning scoreless. This is the home of Detroit Tigers baseball, presented by Meyer.
Shohei Ohtani doesn't make any sense. A hitter that pitches and steals bases. No way. A living legend who's this humble? No way. Ohtani isn't a one-way player or a two-way player. He's a no-way player.
Can we recognize the athleticism of the elite security down there?
Unbelievable. I give them 10 down. We're good.
Yeah. Look at that.
I mean, come on, Joe Ryan.
It's all part of the experience.
This is an experience tonight.
Oh, look out. In between the legs of Jose Altuve, almost clipped his buddy in the on-deck circle.
Hey, that'll wake you up.
And Fortes is able to hang on to the foul tip.
Fortes getting a little help from the love handle there.
The beauty of this jersey is the feel, the texture, the thin, the stitching is heavy, so you kind of feel that jersey that was very heavy. Check it out, the last name and the number, they have a little glitter on them, so they kind of stack up. It just feels
protection. Call Sweet Insurance Agency today at 248-723-6000 or visit us at sweetinsurance.com.
McLaren Health Plan is the only Medicaid plan offered in every county in the Lower Peninsula. To learn more, go to McLarenHealthPlan.org/Medicaid.
First inning today is brought to you by Rocket Mortgage. Own the dream. We go to the bottom of the first inning scoreless. Colt Keith at the plate. First pitch down and in. The Tigers are facing the 32-year-old from Dothan, Alabama, Clay Holmes. Big guy, 6'5", 245. Works over on the first base side of the rubber. Fascinating. I don't ever think I've seen a career arc quite like Clay Holmes, who is 32. He's been in the major leagues for, a few years. He was a closer for a team called the Yankees for the last 3 years. Fastball at the knees for a called strike, and the Mets sign him and turn him in year number 8 in the major leagues into a starter. And while the numbers won't wow you maybe, Dan, it's been solid. Soft tap foul at home plate on a changeup. This is a good arm, but there are definitely some noticeable differences as a starter versus reliever.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, he started 4 games back in 2018 and had not started a game until this year, and he's at a career high of innings pitched also.
Soft little tapper right by home plate, and home plate umpire Sean Barber on it says no, foul. Now, we've seen this twice in the last 2 homestands, with a home plate umpire on a tap right at the plate gets quickly into position to call it correctly. I mean, just great work, underappreciated maybe by fans in general, maybe even by us, but I tell you, that's a great call by Sean Barber. That little tapper by home plate can fool you. Keith waiting at another 1-2. Swinging a line drive, base hit over second base. Got jammed a little bit with the 4-seam fastball pitch that is actually new. So think of all the things on Clay Holmes' plate, learning to pitch a couple of times through an order, 3 times through an order. But Dan, he also added 2 new pitches this year to his repertoire.
I think he had to, now that he's starting. I mean, like I said, he's up to 140 and 2/3 innings. The previous high was 70. I mean, it's doubled already.
They're trying to watch him, and he's been limited basically to 5 innings a start over his last 9 starts. Gleyber Torres takes a slider for a strike. He was basically a sinker slider guy, and I know Yankees fans have complained about him, but they'll complain about just about anything. Fastball strike, because he didn't close out games with the precision that many would like. But sinker slider, ton of ground balls, low walks, high strikeouts. I mean, he did a fine job at the back end for the Yankees. The 0-2, big sweeper away. But this year, so a sinker slider guy, now he's added a cutter. Used to throw a 4-seam fastball, brought that back this year, brought a changeup back for the first time in many years. The 1-2, low and away. Tigers had some success against him. Remember, they came back against him. That was in the Little League World Series game. Didn't they come back against Holmes at the bottom of the night?
I think it
like
was.
they did.
That might have been one of those things.
Going by memory, that can be tricky, but
no, but that might have been one of the things that irked some Yankee fans.
Yeah, blow a save on national TV. Don't do that. Short, cautious lead from Mize at first. The 2-2, soft tapper out in front of home plate. That'll be fielded by the catcher Singer. He'll flip down to Alonso at first. It kind of acted like a bunt. But this is what you'll see with Clay Holmes on the mound. A lot of balls on the ground. So the difference is, you notice as a starter, he was an absolute ground ball machine as a closer. Pretty good combination. You don't want your closers giving up home runs. He would not give up home runs. A lot of ground balls, a lot of strikeouts. Now it's he's still a ground ball guy, but fewer ground balls. You notice there's a little more hard contact this year, a lot less swing and miss. Sinker for a strike to Kerry Carpenter. Fastball velocity is down 3 full miles an hour, which I think is significant from a year ago. And yet some things remain the same. He doesn't really get hit hard. He's not a premium strike thrower. Lefties, righties hit him about the same, but doesn't give up many extra base hits. You got to beat him by putting together your singles, walks, and the occasional extra base hit. Man at second base, single right here could give the Tigers a lead. Carpenter waiting on a strike one. Up and away with a changeup at 89. His fastball this year has averaged just under 94.
And it still has that really good sink to it. You've already seen Colt Keith dribble one right at home plate, and Gleyber Torres dribble one right at home plate. Big full swings and just dribbling them.
Backdoor sweeper gets a called strike. Sean Barber, our home plate umpire today. Steve Yashinsky is at first. John Lipka at second. DJ Rayburn is the crew chief. He's at third base today. We're scoreless in the bottom of the first inning. Today's game brought to you in part by Northfield Lumber, the official lumber yard of the Detroit Tigers radio network. Wind has picked up. Got a pretty good breeze blowing right now. Change up, swing and a miss. Wow. That had some serious movement down and away, diving away from the lefty Kerry Carpenter.
That's the other thing, Dan, is that, boy, that looked like a kick change the way he had that middle finger up and kind of punching it off there. But good arm side run, and then that sweeper going glove side and the sinker straight down. That's covering all angles of that plate.
First pitch sweeper strike, middle of the plate to Riley Green. So righties, lefties hit him about the same by on base plus slugging OPS. Righties have a higher average. He walks lefties at twice the rate he walks righties, and lefties have a little more power. So lean on the lefty. Riley Green at the plate, swinging a foul out of play. Cutter is up, gets the foul out of play by the numbers. Cutter has been a very good pitch. Doesn't throw the four-seam fastball a lot. That has been one of his most effective pitch. The slider, his pitch last year, has not been an especially big weapon. But he's got weapons like that. Change up, down and away, swing and a miss. The guy who doesn't get a ton of swing and miss gets 2 strikeouts to end the first inning. Riley Green strikes out on a
Sometimes your calling doesn't shout. It hums. Like a lullaby floating through a warm night in San Pedro. Before he could walk, El Niño had already taken his first step toward greatness. For Fernando Tatis Jr., baseball wasn't just in the house because Papá was a pro pelotero. It hung over his cradle like a promise. Desde la cuna, El Niño ya tenía swing.
This time can't get it, and neither could the fan.
Boy, that's when you don't wear flip-flops. Caminero strikes out, and the bat gets a 7.5 on the distance. But it's stuck to the landing.
That's poked and that hits the umpire. The ball is in play, and it's a base hit for Frazier.
Roberto Ortiz did what he could to try to get out of the way, couldn't.
Took the wrong direction.
He just didn't know which way to go.
And our home is right here in Detroit.
Fastballs hit high in the air off the bat of Mark Vientos to left field. Riley Green just has to wait. He didn't have to move a step. He had to wait for that ball to fall out of the sky into his glove. Andy Dirks told me a long time ago, that was always the ball that gave him the hardest time as an outfielder. I'd be saying routine ball up here in the booth. He said, oh no, that ball that goes way up into the air, you're trying to get an angle on it and it's coming out of the sky so fast. He said, it's a hard one.
Like, hurry up and come down already. Yeah.
Look how long Riley Green waited for that
did.
ball. Viento's high fly ball for the first out. Fastball, make it a splitter on the outside edge for a called strike. But, Dan, I liked what he did on that. It's something we have talked about quite a bit. Early in the year, righties had the advantage against Casey Mize, but he went in hard with that fastball to the righty Vientos to get the weak fly ball.
And that's very important for him to do. And he didn't do it so much in that last start, but it's something to really kind of keep an eye on, especially to a guy like a Pete Alonso or a Vientos, the big power-hitting right-handers.
Jeff McNeil at the plate, ground ball, and a high chop over the head of Colt Keith. How about that? Keith was in tight, a step behind, in front of the grass, behind the grass, and that chopper just went over his head by a foot. If he's not in tight, that's a routine out.
You know, and this is the kind of at-bats that the Mets had last night. I thought that is such a veteran at-bat where he knows that Colt Keith is playing up, and so he knows that all he has to do is slash it by him, and that's exactly what he did, just pounded it into the ground and right over his head.
Slider that backs up at 93. Wow, for Starling Marte, who is the DH today for a called strike.
Don't see that often, you know, where you decoy them coming in and slash it by him at third.
No. Fastball in, the sinker, 97, powers Marte in. Actually been a little bit better against righties this year. Signed to a big deal 4 years ago. This is the last year of that 4-year, $78 million deal, and he's kind of been reduced to a part-time role. The 0-2. Fourth outfielder role, if you will. Slurve comes up and in on Marte. Having a solid season after really not a lot of production the last 2 years. Comes into this game hitting .280. 8 home runs. Still drive the ball. It's just not a big power threat. Slider misses low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So that's the same bullet slider in the same at-bat at 86 and 93. I think the first one was not maybe a slider at 93. The 2-2. Splitter misses low. But Dan, Jake Rogers just pointed the glove out there, and that's what they're looking for.
Because the miss, the slurve that hung up and in, Casey was mad at himself. Then he came back and threw that good slider down, and Jake said, yep, that away. And the same thing with that split finger. Marte saw it quick, picked it up for a ball, but it was down.
3-2, he powers him in with the fastball, popped out of play. So go back to talk about what he is working on in between, trying to direct that energy better downhill. But it starts with when you miss, if you're trying to go bottom rail with a fastball or especially the splitter, your misses are below the bottom rail. If you're trying to go up with a fastball, your misses are above.
Exactly. You do not, it's all about execution.
3-2, got him. He froze him with a 98-mile-an-hour sinker. Marte frustrated with himself. Wow, we haven't seen Casey do that a whole lot. That's a swing back sinker at 98 to a righty. That's a wow.
98. The thing, Marte is way off the plate. And I think that's exactly the game plan, was to start it off the plate there and swing it back, because he'll give up on it once he's seen the slider.
Started over in the left-handed batter's box and caught a lot of the plate. That's a heck of a pitch.
Yes.
Brett Beatty at the plate. He swings and taps his splitter foul over by the Mets dugout on the first base side. We're scoreless in the second inning. McNeil, not really a base-stealing threat. He's got a very short, cautious lead at first, but you feel like with the way the Mets are running right now that anybody is a threat to take off at any moment. The strike one, swing and a miss, fastball up. Well, I'll risk it again, Dan. I said 8 batters into his last start. This is some really good stuff from Casey Mize. This feels like all that hard work in his bullpen session is paying off early.
That last fastball, the last 2, I guess,
yeah.
You know, that sinker at 98, but that 4-seamer at the top of the strike zone was by Beatty. He had no chance of catching up to that one.
Now the 0-2. Got him. Fastball in. Oh, Casey Mize is feeling it.
And there it is at the bottom right there. He gave up on it because he thought it was a split finger. So that's exactly what he wants to do by quickening up that body.
2 called third strikes on a 98 and a 97 mile-an-hour fastball. Jake Rogers.
That's Gus Judge. His owner is Aaron Judge, captain of the Yankees. His dog park is Yankee Stadium. Ooh, I'd bowl in that grass for days. Bet he gets to fetch those dingers. I'm sure Aaron chases him like that around the house. Aaron's also the nicest human ever. Just not to baseballs. My human, he eats shredded cheese by the handful. I hope Gus knows just how good he's got it.
Wow. Old school D-backs jersey. This was our alternate jersey that we wore on Saturdays. I was the first team to wear the new colors. They called it Sedona Red. Don't mess up that color. Every time I wore this jersey, I would wear the high socks, black jersey, black hat. I just thought it was a really smooth look, and this is one that I'll never forget.
The official furniture and mattress provider of the Detroit Tigers donates up to $500 to nonprofits supporting Michigan kids. Go Tigers!
Wilson Perez McKinstry to face Clay Holmes, who broke out a pretty wicked changeup. Again, one of the big differences from a year ago, not much swing and miss. The strikeout rate has dropped from almost 10 per 9 to 7 per 9. But again, not unexpected. When you go from being a reliever who can let it all fly for one inning to being a guy that would like to work deeper into games. Torkelson takes an off-speed pitch low and away. The 2-0. Perfect sinker. Grabs the outside part of the outside corner. Time for dollars on deck. If Wenzel Perez gets a hit this inning, Northville Lumber will donate to Detroit Blightbusters. Northville Lumber is Michigan's oldest business and largest Trex decking dealer. The 2-1, swing and a miss. Clay Holmes was the pitcher in the game at Williamsport that the Tigers walked off in the bottom of the 10th. That was a ball game, wasn't it? 2-2, up and away. Slider misses. Yeah. I know you weren't there, but I mean, that was a ball game.
I was watching, though. That was, because that was the Scooble start and a lot of big hits. I think Parker Meadows and Jace Young had a big hit.
Kids, 3-2, swinging a foul out of play. Fastball away to Torkelson. He'll see at least 7 pitches in this trip to the plate. Quite a few 6-inning starts, 1 7-inning start early for Clay Holmes. 3-2 off the plate and in. I like your description of the Tigers' approach, comparable to Framber Valdez, even though Valdez is a lefty. This is a ground ball guy. You're going to try to get him into the strike zone, make him work, make you throw him a strike.
That was the approach, and Valdez was really flustered because he doesn't walk a whole lot of people, and he was walking people, and they just outweighted him.
Holmes, again, a ground ball machine. Doesn't get a ton of double plays turned behind him, kind of an average number given the opportunities. Perez takes a pitch in, and remember the middle of the infield, not great at turning the double play. Lindor Beatty, well below league average. Fly ball, center field, deep but playable. McNeil back and back some more. He'll turn, make the catch in front of the warning track. Taking off for second, Torkelson, one-hop throw, and they got him. That is a fine play by Jeff McNeil in center field. He went back and had the time to get behind the ball, make the catch with some momentum, a one-hop strike to Lindor. Love the aggressive base running because that's Tigers baseball. but the throw got Torkelson at second.
Boy, it was just, Wenzel with the 3 hits last night. That ball was tagged right there, too. That was a good swing. And what a throw. I wasn't sure Spencer Torkelson was going to go on that ball, but that's a perfect throw from right by the center field fence. One hop right to Lindor to get Torkelson. Off just a foot, and he's safe.
Swinging a line drive, base hit off the bat of Zach McKinstry. He gets a sinker and drills it into left field. So back-to-back really good swings. One for the out. There is a breeze. It's really picked up since the beginning of the game. At times, the Flyker standing straight out. And if you look at the David Whitney building, which is deep down the right field line, a couple of other buildings out in right center, they're indicating a breeze either right to left, or at the time Perez hit his ball, blowing kind of in from right. I think it got knocked down. Again, great job by McNeil to go back and get behind the ball to make that strong throw to second base. Baez takes first pitch, ball 1. Sliders, swing and a miss. Oof. Just been a struggle for Javi for a while now, and it's back to kind of those kinds of swings. He really was, yes, he's always going to chase, but then he was able to lay off that pitch earlier in the year, and now he's starting to chase. I'm talking about the slider that's bouncing in the left-handed batter's box. The 1-1, another one he lays off, but it was a problem last year, better this year, but now he's back to kind of some of the old habits, and it's really caused problems.
Yeah, you're starting to see it more. You're exactly right about the chase on that slider. He was cheating to get to it, and it wasn't there at the beginning of the first half, but now you're starting to see it exposed again.
2-1, swing and a miss. We talk about the lack of walk, but it really is a problem when you've walked one time in 150 plate appearances, as Javi has since late June, and after putting up an 809 OPS through 67 games. Great start. That's why he was on the All-Star team. Now he's hit 212 in his last 45 games, 150 at-bats, with 1 walk, 47 strikeouts, and a 514 OPS. Remember, league average always around 715, 720, or recent years. What are the Tigers challenging here?
Catcher's interference. I believe Javi hit the glove of Singer.
You don't see catcher's interference very often on a swing and miss. I'm not seeing it. Tigers challenged this last night, and it was not.
Watch the top of the glove.
Yep. You got it. We see the glove collapse. Good challenge by the Tigers. It challenged last night on a Kerry Carpenter swing, and it was a check swing, but it did not hit the glove. This is quite clear. I'm not sure how much clearer it could be. Good call, Dan. Look at the top of the glove. Instant replay brought to you by Sam Bernstein Law Firm. When you need the right call made, it's 1-800-CALL-SAM. Second inning is brought to you by the Michigan Lottery. Try the new Tigers Instant Game, Pull Tab, and 2 online games. I'm not sure why this is taking more than 20 seconds.
Yeah.
I think they've maybe lost their audio. We have an audio replay review member of the crew coming out to maybe relay word from New York. I'm not sure. Let's listen in.
One catcher's interference, first base, second base.
So catcher's interference. It goes E2 into the books.
You know, you wonder, too, if Singer, just being the sinker ball pitcher, is trying to get a little bit closer and trying to get that low pitch for Clay Holmes, and maybe that's why he's getting that catcher's interference.
Well, that brings up Jake Rogers. Again, righties hit this righty for higher average. Very little power. Tigers take a single right here. A sinker bounces. Singer grabs it. Ball 1 on Jake Rogers. He's quietly putting together some pretty good at-bats lately. Always been able to draw a walk, hitting with some extra base power. Not playing a whole lot, but he's had some big hits. Sinker in the middle of the plate for a called strike.
I think there's been some balls, too, that he's hit pretty well, just got under just slightly where he was directly right on that in the past has been that home run swing.
Outfield's deep. You'll run on, well, Tigers will run on anybody. Line drive, base it into right center. Soto running to his right will field it. McKinstry will score. The throw will go to second. Baez over to third. Line drive, 2-out single for Jake Rogers. Tigers take the 1-0 lead in the second.
Boy, what a nice approach by Jake Rogers, knowing that, you know what, I'm just going to go with that sinker. I'm not going to try to pull it. It's out over the plate, and he shoots it into right field. That catcher's interference turns out to be a big play.
Just huge. That brings up Cole Keith. Hitless in 6 at-bats in the series. Singled first time up. First pitch, swing and a miss, and a changeup down and in. Again, not much difference in speed between the sinker and the changeup. 93-94, 88-89 on the changeup. Not sure he wants it there. He threw terrific changeups to Carpenter and Green, striking them out. Changeup away this time, swing and a miss. That's the pitch away that was getting Green and Carpenter. I feel like he could triple up on that pitch right here.
I was going to say that was the location right there. He leaves it inside. Cole Keith has been known to turn on those inside changeups and hit him a long way.
Baez a runner at third. Big 2-out hit for Jake Rogers. He's at first. Lindor at short, shades up the middle. Third baseman today is Vientos. He is off the line, but not far away from the bag with that runner at third. Pitch in the dirt makes it 1-2. Folk came into the game hitting .253, 12 home runs, 41 RBIs. Look at his month of April of .580 OPS. He's had basically right at 800 OPS since. Swinging a soft ground ball to second base. Beatty will gather it up, an easy flip over to Alonso at first for the final out of the second inning. Catcher's interference plays big, 4 base runners for the
La sopita en polvo con el mejor sabor. Tú y Maggie, el secreto del sabor dominicano.
Folks, that right there is Decoy, the luckiest dog in the world. His owner is Shohei Ohtani, a myth of a man. A human who can do all this with a baseball is every dog's dream. 100-mile-an-hour fastballs, drool, 250-foot dingers, woof. He gets called a good boy in 2 entire countries. And I get Greg. I just hope all that fame doesn't go to his head.
Hank Greenberg helped popularize the first baseman's mitt, holding a massive 13-inch pocketed glove. That was quickly banned, reducing the maximum size to 12 inches. Paul Richards also developed a black hole-sized catcher's mitt. This ginormous thing, measuring 42 inches in circumference, was known as Big Bertha, or the elephant, for its massive size. It was swiftly outlawed as well.
You'll always hit a grand slam with Pella Detroit. Call Pella Detroit at 248-292-5000 for a free consultation today.
Ground ball deep in the hole at short. Aiden Senger grounds it to Zach McKinstry, plants and throws. 1 up and 1 down on 1 pitch. That's always how you like to start an inning. Backup catcher hitting just 170 through his first 67 at-bats. Grounds out to start the 3rd inning. That's the first trip through the order for Casey Mize, and we saw a lot of good that first trip through the order.
I was going to say, you're exactly right. You say thank you very much, swinging at the first pitch and 1 out. And just keep Francisco Lindor quiet.
First pitch splitter, middle of the plate for a called strike. Lindor was showing bunt. Tigers are ready for it. Colt Keith has been in tight both of his at-bats, and they were yesterday as well. I guess he just didn't want to bunt the splitter, but it was right there.
He's
for
done
the
that.
taking.
He's done that a couple of times. Casey has just the strike one. He's thrown that splitter. Steal to steal, strike one.
Swinging a foul out of play on a fastball up, and that's there's so much that goes into calling a game for a catcher, Dan, and that's a brilliant first pitch.
Yes.
The 0-2, down and in, misses with the slider. But knowing that, well, if you get into a pattern and you're throwing a lot of first pitch strikes with your fastball, Lindor says, all right, I'm going to bunt one of those. And he sees the splitter and I'm not bunting that. The 1-2. Bounce the splitter.
But he's making sure when he misses, he's
They've
missing
all been low.
exactly
We are
where
tracking
he wants
this.
He's thrown 10 out of 10 first pitch strikes also. That's so key for Casey.
Works over on the third base side of the rubber. Quick step back into his motion 2-2. Slider away. Jake thought he'd gotten the call. He gave him every chance to get the call. It was away. Jake Rogers, Dylan Dingler both do a great job making every pitch look like a strike. 3-2. Swinging a line drive, base hit down the right field line. That's into the corner. That'll be extra bases for Lindor. Chasing it down, Perez, and Lindor will cruise into second. Line drive double into the right field corner with one out here in the third. His first hit of the series in 10 at-bats.
And that one, I don't know, you really can't fault him too much. That was more of a get-me-over splitter 3-2, but that one did not have that same bite to it. It just kind of rolled in there.
Yep.
But under the circumstances, it might be a little bit different. Just saying, I'm not going to try to throw the nasty one and walk him. I'll try to throw a strike with it, and if he gets a hit, okay. But he might have a chance of making an out also.
Check swing and a fastball up to Juan Soto, who was not bunting. Fouls it out of play. I keep thinking about his bunt the first time up. It just cracks me up. This guy who's just an absolute destroyer at the plate right now. Menacing presence. Just like, how do you get this guy out? And he bunted his way on. Figuring he'd probably get to second base, but it didn't work out. Up and away with the slurve. But so far, we are seeing Mize, when he's going up, miss up with the fastball, not miss middle. If he's going down, missing down with the splitter for the most part, not missing middle. The 1-1, swinging a high pop-up, and I mean high. Behind first base, Torres will call off Torkelson. Camp under it and make the catch, 10 feet onto the outfield grass. Gets the ball over to McKinstry, holds Lindor at second. It's amazing. You really do just breathe a sigh of relief when you retire Juan Soto.
Boy, we'll have to track this the next time, but those two really nice four-seam fastballs right at the top of the strike zone that he didn't have real good, not uncomfortable-looking swings at him.
I agree. Casey's been up to 97, 98 today with the fastball. Got two called third strikes on that velocity last inning, 97 and 98. Fastball low and away. Jake Rogers couldn't get the call that was in the strike zone, but that's a really difficult call for the home plate umpire. And you see Jake immediately touch his glove to his chest like that's my bad for not making that look better. The 1-0. Outer half. Got the called strike. Third inning today is brought to you by Mastercraft Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electric. For fast service and the best price, choose Mastercraft. Two really good fastballs to Pete Alonso. The count is 1-1. 97 and 98. The 1-1. Swinging a line drive right field on the run. Perez, you won't get there. That ball is one hop up against the wall. It's going to be fielded by Javi Baez. Pete Alonso will settle for the double. Lindor in to score. Two doubles here in the third inning. Pete Alonso rips it up the gap in right center. We're tied at 1.
Boy, that ball was absolutely crushed.
Jeez.
That thing just flew by Wenzel. But again, there's that sinker that wanted it inside, and it just stayed on that inner third. That's that one that you want to bore in on the right-handed hitters. I think that would be a really good pitch to a guy like Pete Alonso, but not on the inner third where he can inside out it. It's got to be start on the inside part of the plate and bust him in on the hands.
Brings up Brandon Nimmo. He's had a good series, 3-hit game yesterday. Just a good, solid hitter, as we talked about in the game yesterday. And 267 coming in. Fouls off the first offering from Casey Mize. 22 home runs, 78 RBIs. But again, just a tough out. Upright stance from the left side. He's got a leg kick. Dives into home plate. Splitter down. He fouls it right at home plate. No balls and 2 strikes. 46 pitches. 32 strikes for Casey Mize. He's been working on his command. I would say that is a very good start through 46 pitches.
You bet.
But more than anything, it's about where are the misses. The 0-2. Fastball up and in. Jake likes it. Points the glove out. That's a miss. If you're going to go up, you want to have the miss above the target. Alonso's not a big base running threat. Not an automatic to score from second on a single. 1-2. Fastball up and away. Those are the misses that he's trying to get rid of. That's non-competitive pitch, ball out of hand. Up and away. Nimmo windmills that bat around once, twice. Hands tight to the left shoulder as he cocks the bat over it. The 2-2, swinging a shot. Caught by Gleyber Torres, a step to his left. That was actually a very good splitter down, and Nimmo lined it almost into right field.
Before he was feared on the field, Ronald Acuña Jr. was chasing wins on a different kind of field. For the Acuñas, El Béisbol was a story told in fastballs and late-night rematches. Every loading screen was a part of the strategy. Smash de botones. Smash de jonrones. That's how La Bestia was born.
Tip of the cap, and now here we go. He gets Larry Walker.
And here he is. He's going to face him right-handed. Why not? He looks like a catcher hitting.
And now he's back to the left side. And a 2-out walk. So Walker reaches base after that first pitch that was like the flyby here right after the anthem.
To be in, the middle of New York to display a card like this is really such a big part of the Fanatics mission. We think about how do we create new experiences. Now we get the opportunity to put incredible Holy Grail cards in front of tens of thousands, if not millions of new people. It's not just about collectors today, but also about how do we bring new collectors into the space as well. It's really what we do it all for.
All we do is win.
All we do is win.
Get Motor City Clean at Clean Express Auto Wash and wash anywhere with our Wash Smart Unlimited membership, the official car wash of the Detroit Tigers.
Gleyber Torres swings at a fastball, hits a routine fly to center field. A few steps to his right, McNeil makes a catch. 1 pitch, 1 out. Third inning. Clay Holmes going through the Tigers' order for a second time. This is when he is at his most vulnerable. You always hear about third time through the order, and because, that's a thing. League-wide, numbers jump each trip through. So you look at Clay Holmes and you think, all right, here's a reliever turned into a starter. Does he struggle the most the third time through? No, it's the second time through. Batting average jumps, power numbers jump. And then impressively, when he goes through an order a third time, that's when he is at his toughest, low batting average and no power. But Clay Holmes lately, mostly 5-inning starts, and he's facing 21 to 23 batters a game, so that's kind of a few batters into the third trip through. Just something to watch today. Carpenter takes a strike, now the strike one pitch, and swinging to tap foul. We've seen a lot of that today. Little taps right at home plate or out in front of home plate. And And the changeup is a big, big weapon against lefties.
Absolutely it is. I've been very impressed with that changeup. Just the downward action to it, but also the run to his arm side, down and away from that left-handed hitter.
0-2. Swing and a tap foul. That was an optical illusion. He tapped it foul at home plate, came right up into the glove of Singer, the catcher, and Singer said, "No, I caught it." And the home plate umpire said, "I saw it. I didn't."
I thought he poked it like into the Tiger dugout, and you're right, it just bounced right up.
I did not see that. The 0-2, swing and a miss. Wow. Stayed with the changeup. So he gets Carpenter twice on a wicked changeup down. Struck out Riley Green, who's striding to the plate right now on a changeup. Cole Keith, with a couple of men on, got him to ground out. He saw 4 straight changeups. 2 outs, bases empty. At a 1-1 game for Riley Green. First pitch fastball, bottom rail, strike 1. This series is brought to you by your Toyota dealers of Michigan. The strike 1. Off the plate and in with the cutter. 1 ball, 1 strike. Today's game also brought to you in part by Meyer, an official partner of the Detroit Tigers. 1 run, 5 hits already for the Mets. 1 run, 3 hits for the Tigers. The 1-1. Check swing. Did he go? He did not. Another changeup. This changeup is good, Dan.
It sure is.
I'm surprised he doesn't get more swing and miss. Left side of the infield shifts to the right. Vientos and Lindor. Outfield just about straight up on Riley. The 2-1. Swing and a miss. A sinker with diving action. Like the changeup, but only at 95 instead of 89.
Yeah, they looked similar in their movement and shape. Identical. Just about 7-8 miles an hour different.
2-2. Swing and a foul tip. In and out of the glove of catcher Singer. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Detroit Tigers Radio Network. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Wow. Clay Holmes dialed it in here in the third. Gets the 2-3-4 hitters with ease for the second time. Strikes out Carpenter and Green. Back-to-back to end.
Folks, that right there is Decoy, the luckiest dog in the world. His owner is Shohei Ohtani, a myth of a man. A human who can do all this with a baseball is every dog's dream. 100-mile-an-hour fastballs, drool, 250-foot dingers, woof. He gets called a good boy in 2 entire countries. And I get Greg. I just hope all that fame doesn't go to his head.
Moniak on the run, sliding grab, and he can't get it. It rolls up the line. Well, a bloop single and now a bloop double. You see him just slip right off the bat.
Clean up on base number 1. Lourdes throws the punt.
Supporting Michigan kids. Go Tigers!
Casey Mize, first pitch slider tight, 91, bottom rail, strike 1. Mark Vientos at the plate. McNeil Marte to follow here in the third inning. Casey could use a 1-2-3. Strike 1, ground ball softly to short. McKinstry will scoop it off the dirt, flip it to Torkelson. Vientos, fly ball first time up, ground ball to start the 4th inning. 2 pitches, 1 out. 4th inning is brought to you by Wellside Windows, local and family owned. Celebrating 81 years as Michigan's leader in replacement windows. 1-1 tie in the top of the 4th. Today's game brought to you in part by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, ready to help. 1 out, that brings up the lefty, Jeff McNeil. Again, there was a fairly big left-right split early in the year. Swing and a miss, good splitter. Down for Casey. That gap has closed. So now lefties, righties kind of hit him about the same for average and power. 0-1 fastball misses in. And the numbers don't look a whole lot different than they did a year ago, but And just talking with Casey, as you and I have through the year, 1-1, fastball away. He's feeling so much better. I remember talking with him a few weeks ago. He said, I said, you're always working on something. What are you working on right now? He said, the nice thing is last year I felt like I was working on something specific every bullpen session. The 2-1, swinging a pop-up down the left field line. Riley Green over track into the foul territory. Makes a fine basket catch into the netting, into the front row, and holds on. What a play. Tracking it into foul territory, made a fine basket catch, and then knew the netting would catch him.
He was giving the fans some high fives over there just, for pushing him out of the net. He just was like, hey, I can't get out of here. How am I going to get out of here? And they were pushing him and helping him up, and he's like, hey, thank you very much.
Very polite young man.
I still can't get over that attempt he made on that home run that just was out of his, oh my gosh.
Absolute blowout.
Yes.
He is giving it everything. He would have gone into the bullpen if he had to. Slurve away from Starling Marte. Great replays on our FanDuel Sports Monitor. I love some of the people in the front row. They're like, hey, you're crowding me. Ground ball to third base. Colt Keith in tight. Shattered bat from Marte. He'll carry it all the way down to first anyway. Colt Keith flips it to Spencer Torkelson, and there's a nice 1-2-3. Nice quick 1-2-3-4.
Before he was feared on the field, Ronald Acuña Jr. was chasing wins on a different kind of field. For the Acuñas, el béisbol was a story told in fastballs and late-night rematches. Every loading screen was a part of the strategy. Smash de botones. Smash de jonrones. That's how La Bestia was born.
Hank Greenberg helped popularize the first baseman's mitt, holding a massive 13-inch pocketed glove. That was quickly banned, reducing the maximum size to 12 inches. Paul Richards also developed a black hole-sized catcher's mitt. This ginormous thing, measuring 42 inches in circumference, was known as Big Bertha, or the Elephant, for its massive size. It was swiftly outlawed as well.
It's got all the sunshine, but with a lighter finish and just 99 calories. Try the new Oberon Light today.
Spencer Torkelson leads off. First pitch, sweeper down and away. Ball one on Torque. Perez McKinstry to follow here in the fourth inning in a 1-1 game. Beautiful day for baseball. Pretty good breeze blowing right now, and at the moment that breeze is blowing straight in from center. Torque takes a pitch away, 2-0. Holmes looks over on the first base side of the rubber. From the stretch at all times, swinging a line drive, base hit into center field. Sinker was up a little bit. Torque drives it into center. Walked its first time up. Line drive single to start the fourth inning.
Clay Holmes being very, very careful to Spencer Torkelson. His 2 at-bats so far. Does not look comfortable in facing him. Walked him, and then that time fell behind 2-0. Had to come in. Torque was waiting for it. Hit a bullet into center field.
Just consistent production all year long for Torque. Hitting all kinds of pitching. Average has been within, plus or minus 5 from 240. A good walk rate. Month-to-month consistency in the power department outside of 1 month. We've seen some nice line drive singles in this series. Slider down and in. That always seems to be such a key, Dan. For
a guy that didn't even have a job in spring training. And, you could pretty much count. You never hear about, I had to give Torkelson a rest. You know, it's like every day he is penciled in that lineup.
The 1-1. Swinging the line. Shot caught at first, and Torkelson doubled off. My goodness. Alonso grabbed it. Torque, there was nothing he could do. He wasn't taking off for a second. He was trying to get back to first, but it was just a perfectly, for the Mets, hit line drive. A stab with the backhand by Alonso. Torque tries to go back to first. He had no chance.
No, he's just taking a secondary lead off of first base right at him and couldn't go anywhere. Boy, Wenzel, another good swing. He's swinging the bat really good.
Deep fly ball out first time up. Now the sizzling line drive out for a double play. Oh, that's just frustration. 2 good swings, 2 outs, base is empty. Zach McKinstry singled first time up. Swings and lines this one down the right field line. That ball is one hop over the fence and right. Oh, man, that's too bad, because if that ball dies in the corner, Zach McKinstry's on third.
Boy, he had the triple last night. Here he is again with 2 base hits in this game. Talking about some good swings. First time up, shot it into left field. That one got that cutter and just hammered it into right field. Using that entire field on both at-bats.
4th inning brought to you by Wallside Windows, local and family owned, celebrating 81 years as Michigan's leader in replacement windows. Pitch count update brought to you every game by Rocket Mortgage. Own the dream. Slider misses low and away to Javi Baez. He's probably going to see a steady diet of those after chasing one his first time up. Reached on catcher's interference, and that was a big moment in this game. That's when the Tigers scored on the Jake Rogers 2-out single, the next batter. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. Slider again. Way down and away. Beatty at second base, keeping an eye on McKinstry. The 1-1. Perfect slider, actually in the strike zone. Gets the called strike. Javi's kind of midway in that right-handed batter's box, close to the plate. Upright, relaxed stance. Tucks that left shoulder in, cocks the bat high over the right. The 1-2, swing and a miss, just nothing but breaking balls. Baez strikes out. Tigers again, couple of base runners, but can't get anybody home. Double play, big for the Mets. We head to the 5th inning in a 1-1 game.
Before he was feared on the field, Ronald Acuña Jr. was chasing wins on a different kind of field. For the Acuñas, el béisbol was a story told in fastballs and late-night rematches. Every loading screen was a part of the strategy. Smash de botones. Smash de jonrones. That's how La Bestia was born.
Fifth inning today is brought to you by Figer Law. All they do is win. 1-1 game. We go to the top of the 5th inning. Dan Dickerson, Ben Petrie. Glad to have you along. Swinging the line drive. Right center field on the run. Wenzel Perez. He reaches up with a backhand, hauls it in, hangs onto the warning track. Right center field. Fine running catch by Wenzel Perez. First pitch of the 5th inning. Beatty drives it, and Perez takes the hit away.
Boy, started going across, and then at the last second knew it was hit better than it was, went back into that right center field alley, and then reached up, took that extra base hit away. He's played really good in right. He's played really good in center.
3 straight innings where the Mets have put the first or second pitch in play. 4 straight innings, 4 and out. That was a fine play to make what looked like an extra base hit. That's triple territory, into and out. The strike one, soft tap foul. Jenny Hornatsky and Tim Jetski are engineers on this beautiful afternoon for baseball. Off day tomorrow, 3 with the White Sox coming in. Important for the Tigers to figure out a way to take this finale today after the Mets scored 22 runs and winning 12-5 and 10-8 in the first 2 games. The 0-2. Swing and a miss, fastball up. I mean, how impressive has this been for Casey Mize' first 2 trips through the order?
Boy, I like that, what he's shown with that 4-seam fastball, too. He's thrown it by some people up there, especially. We'll have to find out what he's going to do with Juan Soto, but got an easy out from Juan Soto his second at-bat.
This begins the 3rd trip through the order for Casey Mize. Francisco Lindor takes a slider for a strike. Injury report brought to you every game by McLaren Health, the official healthcare system of the Detroit Tigers. Parker Meadows will play again tonight on his rehab assignment. We could see him back soon. Slider at the top rail. Oh, man. Didn't get the call. Right there. 1-1. Keith in tight at third. McKinstry's at short today. He's up the middle. The outfield plays Lindor to go the opposite way. Another slider up and in, almost like a cutter at the top of the strike zone. Lindor has been a much better hitter in his home ballpark this year, swinging a foul out of play, noticeably so. OPS 250 points higher at home, even though that's kind of a pitcher-friendly ballpark, more home run power, and Tigers have so far handled him in this series, did double his last time up. The 2-2. Swinging a foul out of play. 97, still holding on to that 97 here in the 5th inning. Pitch number 66.
Well, I think Lindor was looking for that split finger and just able to get a piece of it right on that outside corner. I don't know how he just flicked the barrel of the bat at it just to barely shoot it foul.
Left side of the infield shifts to the right. Keith backs up with 2 strikes. The 2-2. Swinging a pop-up foul and out of play. Strikeout updates brought to you every game by Carbliss, the official ready-to-drink canned cocktail of the Detroit Tigers. Casey Mize with 3 strikeouts, no walks. That's important. Command. Not just no walk, but the command has been outstanding. 2-2. Swinging a foul out of play. Lindor giving him a battle. This is the longest at-bat of the day by far. Lindor will see at least 8 pitches in this trip to the plate. 1 run, 5 hits, 1 error for the Mets. 1 run, 5 hits, no errors for the Tigers. We're in the 5th inning. The 2-2. Swing and a pop-up playable this time. Kinstry will call off Cole Keith, make the catch 1 step from the outfield grass on the infield dirt. Lindor pops out. And Casey Mize strong through the...
Folks, that right there is Decoy, the luckiest dog in the world. His owner is Shohei Ohtani, a myth of a man. A human who can do all this with a baseball is every dog's dream. 100-mile-an-hour fastballs, drool, 250-foot dingers, woof. He gets called a good boy in 2 entire countries. And I get Greg. I just hope all that fame doesn't go to his head.
What is it that kind of got you hooked as a foodie, so to speak?
My dad was really into food when I was a kid. He traveled for work and he would go to places all over Europe and stuff. He was in sales and I feel like he would come home and try and cook the things he ate overseas. And so as a kid, I was exposed to a lot of like stuff that kids aren't usually exposed to. And so I credit my dad for that.
in Detroit and counting. 3 trees for every Tigers triple this season.
Jake Rogers takes a sinker for a called strike. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning, 1-1 game, Tigers and Mets. Tyler Holton had started to throw in the top half of this inning in the Tigers bullpen. The strike one, slider strike on the outer edge. No balls and 2 strikes. Jake Rogers delivered the Tigers' only run with a 2-out single in the 2nd inning. And Casey Mize, we have confirmed this, did get the handshake going down those dugout steps. The pitch count is low. It's not about the pitch count, but when you get the handshake, that means your day is done, even if you don't want the handshake. Jake Rogers takes ball 1. So even with a low pitch count, and you think about all the work, the 1-2 down and away that Casey did in that bullpen session, expended a lot of energy in that bullpen session, trying to get that good feel back on the mound and work on the things that you talked about earlier, Dan. And you can picture it being a situation where you just did a heck of a job against a team that's been on fire offensively. The 2-2, low and away. And you held them to 1 run in 5 innings, and you did a really nice job with all the things you've been working on. Get them out on the high note.
You know, that's always the idea about when somebody's working on something, and you're emptying the tank here with the day off tomorrow and a rested bullpen.
3-2, tap foul. Still 3-2 on Jake. He'll see 7 pitches, and that's the other factor. You need to find a way to win this game,
right,
with a rested bullpen.
Then you've got, the 3rd time through the order. You've got Soto coming up. You've got Nimmo coming up. Then you've got Tyler Holton down there, and then you've got Finnegan that can go at least 1 inning and can go multiple innings, and Will Vest. So there's plenty of and Tommy Canely too. We'll see if he's going to be getting more of a leash in these tight games.
3-2, called 3rd strike. Jake was about to take his shin guard off and go down to first base. He gets rung up. That's an incredible swing back sinker at 95. Jake gave up on it.
Man, that talk about some late action too. That looked like it was well off the plate. I think Jake was taking his shin guard off before the catcher even caught it.
Yeah.
It looked so far outside and then just swung back. Caught that outside part of the plate.
Slider down and in to Colt Keith. Today's game brought to you in part by Corwell Health, reminding you together we can overcome any obstacle, fight any battle. So the 2nd trip through had been the problem area for Clay Holmes. 2nd trip through the Tigers order, gave up a couple of hard-hit balls, actually 3 hard-hit balls. One was caught and turned into a double play. The other was a double. But he escaped without giving up a run that 2nd trip through. Changeup bounces and quickly 3-0 on Colt Keith. Now the 3rd trip through, this is when the Mets kind of get on high alert. They don't let him go deep, generally the 3rd order, time through the order. But this is when he's been at his best, which I think is impressive. The 3-0. Sinker starts at the right hip of a lefty, snaps back onto the plate for a called strike, 3-1. Left side of the infield shifts to the right. The outfield plays Keith very deep. This outfield plays deep. They plan to go the opposite way slightly, 3-1. Sinker low. 1-out walk here in the 5th inning in a 1-1 game. Check some scores from the 1-800-CALL-SAM Studios scoreboard. Everything else is coming up later today except for Washington-Miami. Washington has a 7-2 lead at home against Miami. That game's in the top of the 5th inning. Gleyber Torres steps to the plate. First pitch, slider. Man, he's located that pitch. That's beautiful. Right on the black away, strike 1. Blue Jays and Reds later today. Shane Bieber on the mound for the Blue Jays. That seems odd to say, doesn't it? Shane Bieber on the mound for the Blue Jays. Changeup down and in. 1 ball, 1 strike on Gleyber Torres. Bieber's had a couple of really good starts coming back from Tommy John surgery. He's given up just 3 runs in 11 innings. How about no walks, 15 strikeouts? That's a nice pickup for the Blue Jays.
Absolutely it is. Kind of figured that Guardians would hold on to him.
Slider low and away, 2-1. somebody to watch down the stretch. Tigers started the day with a 9-game lead over Kansas City. Royals lost yesterday. They're home against the Angels tonight. Cleveland 10.5 back, still below the 500 mark. The 2-1. Sinker misses, low and away, not by much. Pretty good, strong, accurate strike zone for Sean Barber today.
Boy, and Gleyber Torres, too, just not biting. I mean, that was as close to a strike as you could get if it wasn't a strike. And Gleyber laid off and got the call.
3-1, swing and a tap foul. Right in front of home plate. I think it went off of the catcher, Singer. Gregory Soto, one-time Tiger. Almost don't recognize him without the long dreads coming out the back of the cap.
Yeah, when I saw him on Monday, I was like, ooh.
Wait, that's Gregory? I used to call him Juan Soto every once in a while by mistake, and now they're on the same team. 3-2, the count on Gleyber Torres. Colt Keith, short, cautious lead at first. Alonso holding with him. Middle of the infield in double play depth, Lindor and Beatty. The 3-2, swinging a soft ground ball to third. Vientos will wait for a long throw to first. They just got Gleyber Torres. If he charges that ball, they might get Keith at second, but he just didn't feel, you could tell, comfortable charging that ball. So, at least Keith gets into scoring position. That leads it up to Kerry Carpenter. All right, so what's Kerry Carpenter's approach against Clay Holmes, who has victimized him with changeups, dastardly changeups? The first 2 at-bats. First pitch, changeup, misses in. That's not where he wants it, ball 1.
And Carlos Mendoza, knowing that, okay, you're going to get Jahmai Jones or Andy Ibanez with Soto warming up, does not go with Soto, stays with Clay Holmes.
The 1-0, whoa, big miss with the cutter up, brings Singer, the catcher, up out of his crouch to grab it. Carpenter and Green combined 0 for 4 against Holmes today. 4 strikeouts, all swinging.
And this is a matchup I think that AJ wants. They haven't had any success, but it only takes that one pitch, that one mistake for Kerry to get underneath one.
2-0, swing and a miss. Swing and a foul, I should say, on a sweeper in. That one off. Carpenter's going to have to walk this one off. Again, the outfield is very deep. Single almost surely scores Keith. Breeze continues to blow from right to left. I will say it's a swirling wind once it gets inside this ballpark. Read the flags in the ballpark. It's right to left. Neighboring buildings sometimes showing a wind blowing straight in. Prevailing summer breeze here in downtown Detroit is in from right field. Southwest wind blows in over the right field wall. 2-1. Soft tap foul at home plate. It's amazing how many of those we have seen today. Just little baby taps on the changeup that die in front of the plate or at the plate.
Yeah, we'll see if he gets another one, too.
I can't picture him getting anything else. He hasn't missed with it today, really.
No, it's all been down and away, and Kerry's got plenty of room right there on the left side just to shoot it the other way, right at where the shortstop normally plays. Large hole with Lindor playing up the middle.
Carpenter digs back in. Extends the hands away from the left shoulder as he cocks the bat over it. Waiting on a 2-2. Holmes delivers away. Tried the slider on the back door. Didn't come close. 3-2 on Kerry Carpenter. If he walks him, does that bring Soto in for Green? Holmes leans in, gets the sign. Sets, holds the glove back on the right hip. Checks Keith. The 3-2 way away. He walks Kerry Carpenter, and that will likely be the end of the day as Carlos Mendoza makes his way to the mound. A walk with 1 out to Colt Keith, a walk with 2 outs to Kerry Carpenter, and now Riley Green is going to face the ex-Tiger Gregory Soto. Holmes' day is done after 5 2/3. Leaves in a 1-1 game, but is responsible for the 2 men on base. While the Mets make the change. 1-1. Today brought to you by Verizon, the #1 network in Detroit. We told you Kyle Finnegan was warming up in the Tigers bullpen, so expecting him to come in. And then we saw a dreaded sight in between innings. Kyle Finnegan started walking in from the bullpen, not toward the mound, but to the dugout, and he was limping. And no trainer accompanying him, but he went down the dugout steps and headed right up to the Tigers clubhouse. And FanDuel keeps a camera on those guys warming up, and they're nothing obvious, but after a pitch, he kind of went down and into a squat like, I don't know, it feels like with the way he was walking in, Dan, limping, something went wrong with something in his legs, but I couldn't tell you what. What do you think?
I'm just thinking a groin.
Yeah.
That's just the way he was just
the way he was walking, very gingerly. 1-1 in the dirt. 2-1 on Brett Beatty, and that is just wow. Let's just hope that whatever it is, he stopped early. It wasn't like he delivered a pitch and then winced in pain. It was like suddenly there's like, I better not throw another pitch. 2-1, check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. Appeal down to third. DJ Rayburn up with the right hand. 2-2 on Brett Beatty. But man, there's one arm the Tigers cannot afford to lose in this bullpen. It is Kyle Finnegan. And any trip to the IL in September, well, it doesn't get any more worrisome than that. Because by the time you come off, there's no minor league season to go on a rehab assignment. The 2-2. Ground ball softly up the middle. McKinstry will charge field, flip over to first to get Brett Beatty. 2-2, soft ground ball for the first out here in the 7th inning. So clearly some kind of leg injury, the way he was walking in very gingerly. Feels like your diagnosis based on having maybe been in that position is an accurate one, and we'll just hope for the best. But that is extremely bad news for the Tigers.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just speechless, because he's one of those guys that just wants the ball, wants to do everything, so happy to be over here, leaving a last place ball club to the best team in the American League.
Change up down and away. He is the best trade deadline pickup of any reliever. I know other guys have had success. Miller's been fine, so's Duran. But Kyle Finnegan has pitched 14 1/3 innings for the Tigers and given up 0 runs on 3 hits with 3 walks and 19 strikeouts. That's as good as it gets. The 1-0. Changeup for a strike at the bottom rail, 1-1. Luis Torrens pinch hitting for fellow catcher Hayden Singer. 3-run home run off the foul pole and right yesterday. Fastball outer edge. He gets the black for a called strike.
Tommy mixing in that fastball, was able to get Beatty on one for that easy ground ball to Zach McKinstry.
Will Vest is getting loose in the Tigers bullpen. But right now, in terms of the guys that AJ trusts with the lead late, it's those two, Finnegan and Vest. Trying to work Tommy Kennedy back into the mix. He's having a good outing. The 1-2, soft tap foul, just a little wave at a changeup down just to try to avoid the strikeout. Torrens hit it softly foul on the ground behind home plate. 3-2 Tigers in the 7th inning. Torrens had 3 hits in game 1, then the home run off the foul pole yesterday. This is not a strong hitter. He has had a very good series. The 1-2. Pulled the changeup down and away. Just inconsistent, it feels like, Dan, in terms of the way he wants that changeup to move and the way it's actually moving.
It's still a little bit inconsistent, but not nearly as bad as it was when he was really scuffling. So it's definitely improved.
Swinging a fly ball center field deep. Javi Baez tracking it, still going back. He will make the catch. One step onto the warning track in straightaway center. That ball was crushed because the wind is blowing almost straight in. And he got that to the warning track. It's just out number 2.
Pitching to the deepest part of the ballpark. That's smart pitching.
Did you do that a few times at Tiger Stadium?
Absolutely.
440 help you out there?
Absolutely. That is exactly what you tried to do to a lot of hitters, is just try to throw it where they're going to hit those fly balls all day long to center field.
Francisco Lindor at the plate. First pitch. Change up in the dirt, down and in. 3-2 Tigers in the 7th inning. Hardest working player brought to you every game by Carhartt. Proud to support Detroit Tigers baseball, the hardworking people who make it possible. Everybody works hard every day on this Tigers team. Casey Mize gets this today for all the hard work he put into his bullpen session. And then the start, change up. That's the movement he wants on the changeup. Down and away from a lefty that actually caught the edge of the strike zone.
And it seems to be a little bit harder, but you're right. It's got that downward action to it, not where it goes left and then right.
1-1 changeup misses away. Lindor 1 for 3 today with a double. Hitless in the first 2 games of this series. Came in hitting .265, 26 home runs. Batting from his stronger, at least this year, stronger left side. Keith is in tight at third. Rest of the infield back, swinging a pop-up foul and out of play. Change up middle. And again, you just worry whenever you see that. That's where his misses have been hit the hardest. Earlier in the year, even when he was in the strike zone, the movement was so strong that nobody was able to square his offerings up. All change beginning in early July. The 2-2. Fastball up and in, check swing, appeal to third, and DJ Rayburn says he did not go. I like it though. Busted him in 95.
I do too, because they're not looking for it. And who was it? Bobby Witt Jr., I think he struck out with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball when Kansas City was here in town.
3-2, swing and a pop-up down the third base line. The wind is going to push this one out of play. Keith over, but that one well back into the seats. Lindor had an 8-pitch battle in the 5th inning against Mize before popping out. We'll see at least 7 pitches in this trip to the plate. Again, the final line for Casey Mize brought to you by Figer Law. All they do is win. He went 5. Outstanding today. 1 run on 5 hits, no walks, 3 strikeouts. Tigers got him out with a low pitch count, but get him out on a high note after all that work he put in. The 3-2. Fastball missed up and away. Jake Rogers still likes what he saw. Points the glove out. That wasn't a big miss. It is a walk with 2 outs. Will Vest ready. A.J. Hinch is going to go to his bullpen. Soto coming up. This is going to be...
Meet Aaron Judge. Aaron is the captain of the New York Yankees. What a great leader. He's won MVP 2 times. He's also the most dangerous man on the planet with a bat in his hands. Aaron signs every autograph and tattoos every baseball. Aaron foots the bill, then robs you blind. Aaron's a good guy, the best. Unless you're a pitcher.
Protect yourself with a flu shot. Available today at your Meijer pharmacy. Getting everything you want in just one stop. That's the good life at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
Pitch and change brought to you by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Think Ford first. Will Vest into the game. Welcome to the game, Will Vest. Here's Juan Soto at the plate. Guy with a great fastball, one of the best swing and miss fastballs in the game against a guy who knows how to hit the fastball. First pitch, fastball middle, strike one.
And he took it. He was taken all the way. Wasn't trying to ambush him at all. Just has enough confidence in his ability.
Strike one, swing and a tap foul. Quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. Slider under the bat. Will Vest just been a little more hittable lately, but one thing he's done, Dan, while he's been giving up more hits over the last month or so, he's kept that ERA at 2.76 coming into this game. 13 hits in his last 12 innings. We just mentioned that because it was 33 hits in the first 47 innings of the year for Will Vest.
Casey Mize went upstairs. See if he'll go upstairs with that 4-seam fastball.
Runner goes, pitches outside, no throw down to second base. Lindor steals that. He got a great jump off Will Vest. 28th steal of the year, and now that's the potential tying run at second. The 1-2, swinging a ground ball. A nice high hop to Spencer Torkelson at first. Crosses the bag with his left foot. Will Vest with the slider gets the easy ground ball out against the best hitter in this lineup for the Mets. Soto grounds out, strands a runner.
Meet Aaron Judge. Aaron is the captain of the New York Yankees. What a great leader. He's won MVP 2 times. He's also the most dangerous man on the planet with a bat in his hands. Aaron signs every autograph and tattoos every baseball. Aaron foots the bill, then robs you blind. Aaron's a good guy, the best. Unless you're a pitcher.
Get yourself ready.
Yes, there are hugs, and then there's that.
Now, what is that?
It's a
what is the purpose of that?
It's an anemometer. It measures wind speed.
So that's good.
But it looks like a fidget spinner.
Meanwhile, on the Cove, it just looks like too much fun.
It was so routine, he took his eye off.
You got to come up with this play. You got to. You're right there. You had 2 hands. He looked it in. Oh.
Michigan's corn farmers innovate every year to protect our environment while providing food, fuel, and fiber. Find out more at micorn.org.
Pitch and change brought to you by Primitive Performance. Stay in the game with Primitive Performance and their fast-acting CBD topical cream. Pitch and change for the Mets brings Ryan Helsley into the game. This is a guy that everybody wanted at the trade deadline. Swinging a foul out of play because of, well, pitches like the first pitch he just threw to Colt Keith, 102 mile-an-hour fastball. Heck, this is a guy I wanted for the Tigers, Dan.
You bet.
Big 100-mile-an-hour fastball, closer for the Cardinals for the last several years. The strike one. Fastball up and away, and funny how things don't always work out. It's been a disaster for Ryan Helsley so far in his time with the Mets. 10 1/3 innings in 13 games. 1-1, so he's not even working an inning a game. Keith takes a pitch down and away. He has allowed 15 runs on 16 hits plus 7 walks. 23 base runners in 10 innings and 15 runs. The 2-1 down and in. And it's kind of stunning because while he wasn't unhittable with the Cardinals, he was a very good reliever who just overpowered people, and it hasn't worked out so far with the Mets. The 3-1, swinging a foul out of play. That was a slider at the belt at 88. Not quite a hanger, but not where he wanted it.
You know, there was talk that he may be tipping his pitches, but still, like you said, boy, I mean, it's still hard to square up a 102-mile-an-hour fastball, 101. Maybe he's giving away a slider because he took a couple of good ones.
Swinging a fly ball left center field. McNeil on the run. He won't get there. It looked like the wind knocked that one down. Any fly ball with any height is going to get knocked down to the outfield today. Colt Keith, I think that hit perfectly in terms of the height to get it knocked down. O'Neill makes a lot of plays, or McNeil makes a lot of plays in center, and could not get to that one.
No, perfectly placed right out there in left center. And the wind knocked it down. It was slicing off of Colt Keith's bat and being pushed that way and just fell between the two outfielders. Just perfect. Be huge to get another run.
First pitch fastball way off the plate to Gleyber Torres. He jumps back out of the way, raises his arms. Ball one. It's been a little bit of everything. I mean, this is a guy who's never been a premium strike thrower, but everything's gone wrong with the Mets. He can't throw a consistent strike one. 1-0. Slider backs up and misses badly in. Swing and miss rate is down sharply. The walks are up, the strikeouts are down, and again, the hits are falling. This is not the same guy that the Cardinals saw. Been a little more hittable with the Cardinals this year. 2-0, swing and a miss, slider away. Acted like a changeup. Gleyber Torres well out ahead of it. That's what happens when it looks like your 102-mile-an-hour fastball. Opponents have hit .330 with power since he joined the Mets in their 48 at-bats. Fastball up and in for a called strike at the belt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The word on Kyle Finnegan, a right groin injury. And all we can do is hope that there was a particular pitch, Dan, that he threw and stopped and perhaps, hopefully, caught it early.
Yeah, that's that one that you open up with and drive off of. And you're right, just hopefully it's tightness or something like that and just shut it down.
2-2, slider misses. Good take by Gleyber Torres. 0 for 3 today with a couple of bounce outs and a fly ball. He's worked the count to 3-2.
Because if you think about it, if that's a pull or something like that, that can take a long time, as you said. And
3-2, swinging a foul out of play. He just fired 101, and that's what you can do when you've got 101. Just fire it in the middle of the strike zone and take your chances. This is a much sought-after big right arm at the trade deadline. Gleyber Torres waiting now on a 3-2. Another one on the way. High and tight. Big miss. And the first 2 are on here in the 7th inning. And Dan, when you're struggling like Helsley is with his new team, it feels like for him it's been snowballing. So if an inning starts this way, oftentimes it can get big in a hurry.
Yeah, you just have nothing but negative thoughts going through your head like, oh, man, here we go again. And you're trying to throw it harder, trying to make a better slider instead of just trusting that ability. Like, man, I came over here to be a big piece of this, and I'm not doing my part. And he's got to face Kerry Carpenter.
First pitch Slider low and away, bounces up to home plate. Torrens behind the plate now after pinch hitting for Singer.
Rayleigh warming up for the Mets, and depending upon what happens here, we'll probably face Riley Green, but Helsley has to pitch to Kerry Carpenter.
Righties actually had the big edge against Helsley this year, which makes no sense at all. The 1-0. Line drive, right field. That one's deep. At the fence, Soto leaps up. It's gone. A home run. Line drive, home run over the fence in right. 23rd of the year for Kerry Carpenter is a 3-run shot. Tigers take the 6-2 lead.
Boy, how about that? Had the chance to bring in Gregory Soto to face Kerry Carpenter early in the game and didn't do it. May have forced AJ's hand to take and pinch hit for Kerry Carpenter, but they didn't do it and wanted Kerry Carpenter for just that reason, to have that at-bat right there against Helsley or Edwin Diaz, and it paid off here in the 7th.
Wow. Slicing drive foul down the third base line off the bat of Riley Green. 100-mile-an-hour fastball in, and Kerry Carpenter was on it. Dan, that was just a line drive.
That was almost where Gregory Soto took the one away from him last night.
I know, and he got back there. He just didn't have time to get back there to make a leap, did he? It was hit so hard, and again, low line drive. 106 off the bat. Kerry Carpenter he is just a threat, no matter what kind of day he has had. 2 strikeouts, nice walk, and a good at-bat his last time up. 100-mile-an-hour fastball, no problem.
Boy, well, that's a big, big blow. You're just hoping for just a little insurance run, and all of a sudden that crooked number goes up there, changes that scoreboard in a hurry.
Ryan Helsley's struggles continue. Swing and a miss. Riley Green strikes out on a slider on 3 pitches. For the first out here in the 7th inning, every Tigers home run this year is a Little Caesars Pizza home run. Order online for delivery or Pizza Portal pickup. 3rd home run that Helsley has allowed in 10 2/3 innings of work. Again, righties have hit Helsley for higher average and more power than lefties. Torkelson at the plate. First pitch fastball, 100 up and away. Ball 1. Big 3-run home run. 6-2 Tigers lead in the 7th. Trying to salvage the finale, getting ready for the White Sox this weekend. The 1-0, swing and a foul back to the screen. Just challenging him with fastballs. Beatty at second base, shades up the middle on Torque. The outfield deep, they play almost straight up. The 1-1, swing and a miss, sharp, late-breaking slider. Stuff is so good, it's just an absolute mystery how it could have gone this far south for Ryan Helsley.
Yeah, you see sliders like that.
I mean, that's just nasty.
He hasn't been able to land them very often.
1-2 line drive into left, little humpback liner will drop in front of the left fielder Nimmo. Spencer Torkelson's second hit of the day, reaches for the 3rd time. He walked his first time up. Line drive single, still only 1 out, and that will prompt a visit from pitching coach Jeremy Hefner. Not the manager to take him out. The bullpen is getting busy, but, well, actually Ridley's been throwing for a minute, hasn't he? Well, he's sat down after the home run.
Yeah.
Check some scores from the 1-800-CALL SAM Studios scoreboard. Again, limited action this afternoon. Everything else pretty much coming up later tonight. Dodgers and Pirates are coming up later tonight. Pirates playing some pretty good ball right now. Beat the Dodgers yesterday 9-7. That race in the West really in the hands of the Dodgers. The Padres made their big run, took over first for a minute. Dodgers are back in first, but They've been playing below 500 ball for quite a while now, and they took a 78 and 60 record into that game in Pittsburgh tonight. Wenzel Perez takes first pitch curveball from Helsley, strike one. Cleveland lost at Boston yesterday. Kansas City lost at home to the Angels. They'll be home tonight. Swinging a pop-up foul and out of play. With the Royals loss yesterday, the Tigers' magic number down to 15 going into play today. Any combination of 15 Tigers wins and or Royals losses, Tigers will be your Central Division champions. 9-game lead at the start of play today. They've got a 6-2 lead here in the 7th. Wenzel Perez has had nothing but good swings today. The 0-2 bounces up to home plate away from the catcher Torrens, and Torkelson, who might be one of the best at reading balls in the dirt. Dirt ball read just scoots down to second. As soon as he sees that ball away from Torrens, he's off.
I mean, thinking right along with you, because it was almost like I had to double check to see if he wasn't going on that pitch, because he read it so well out of Helsley's hand. And then when it shot away from Torrens, he went right down to second base. Beautiful read.
The 1-2, swing and a miss, slider under the bat. Wenzel Perez, again, 1 for 4 today, but that will not accurately reflect the quality of his at-bats. Deep fly ball, out hit hard, line drive, out for a double play, and then a single his last time up. That's the end of the day for Ryan Helsley. Infield comes in, gives him a pat on the back. But another disappointment.
Dog chow. Sometimes your calling doesn't shout. It hums. Like a lullaby floating through a warm night in San Pedro. Before he could walk, El Niño had already taken his first step toward greatness. For Fernando Tatis Jr., baseball wasn't just in the house because Papa was a pro pelotero. It hung over his cradle like a promise. Desde la cuna, el niño ya tenía swing.
In 1965, we are Michigan-made, locally sourced, and family-owned, and we're honored to be a part of your family dinners, celebrations, and game day traditions. Thank you, and come celebrate 60 years with National Coney Island. Visit us at one of our locations or at nationalconeyisland.com.
Do you suffer from back or neck pain? Trinity Health has the latest methods and technology to help. Our team looks at many treatment options to create a plan that's right for you. From physical therapy and pain management to advanced spine surgery, say goodbye to living with pain. Reach out to the Trinity Health Spine Program and get back to enjoying your daily activities. TrinityHealthMI.org/spine. Trinity Health, we see all of you.
Hagenman.
Zach McKinstry at the plate. First pitch slider for a strike, Justin Hagenman. New pitcher for the New York Mets. Tigers have a 6-2 lead. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. Strike one. Changeup misses up and away. McKinstry's got a couple of hits today. Single, double, scored a run. Base hit could add to this 6-2 lead. Torkelson's at second, the 1-1, swinging a high fly ball left center field. McNeil tracking it, and he'll make the catch deep into the left center field gap. Good swing, but it's the third out here in the 7th inning. Tigers get 3 on the Kerry Carpenter home run, his 23rd of the year. Head of the 8th inning, 6-2 Tigers on the Detroit Tigers Radio Network.
That's Gus Judge. His owner is Aaron Judge, captain of the Yankees. His dog park is Yankee Stadium. Ooh, I'd roll in that grass for days. Betty gets to fetch those dingers. I'm sure Aaron chases him like that around the house. Aaron's also the nicest human ever. Just not to baseballs. My human, he eats shredded cheese by the handful. I hope Gus knows just how good he's got it.
This copyrighted broadcast presented by authority of the Detroit Tigers may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Detroit Tigers. And Ibanez comes in. He's at third base now. Will Vest facing the Mets in the top of the 8th inning. First pitch to Pete Alonso, who has had quite the series. Starts him off with a slider tight at the bottom rail for a called strike one. The strike one. Fastball in at the knees. Perfect. Ah, golly. How do you miss that one? Ooh. Ball one. That's squarely in the strike zone, right where the umpire is set up. Ground ball bounce to second base. Torres will charge field the shoulder high bounce, flip it over to Torkelson at first. One up and one down in the 8th inning. We're trying to think along with A.J. Hinch. He brings in Will Vest after the obviously unexpected injury to Kyle Finnegan. Warming up, he was going to come in to get the last out of probably come in to start the 7th inning actually. And Will Vest gets the hurry up call. He comes in to get the last out of the 7th inning. So, does Will Vest get the final shot at getting the final 7 outs? I'm thinking no. But if he gets a lot of quick outs, maybe. It'd be very unusual. Fastball strike, but these are unusual circumstances. Check swing, that was a ball on the appeal to third. Brendan Nimmo at the plate. Will Vest has been actually tough around lefties this year. The 1-0. Fastball up and away. But another very good year for Will Vest. I mean, look at his last 3 years. 2.98 ERA, 2.82 ERA, 2.76 ERA. Fastball bottom rail for a strike. ERA isn't the be-all, end-all. It's a good place to start, though. And when you pair that with a low walk rate, a strikeout rate at 10 per 9, and you're pretty tough to hit, it's a combination of a lot of good things. Ground ball sharply up the middle. Brandon Nimmo singles on a 2-1 with one out here in the 8th inning, and the Tigers leading 6-2. We talked about how he's been a little more hittable of late, but the other part of that equation, Dan, is it's mostly singles. So yeah, he's been a little more hittable. He's giving up a few more hits in the last month or so, but it's almost all singles.
And the big thing for him too was getting back on the mound in Kansas City on Friday after that walk-off.
Fastball down and into Mark Vientos, the sinker in. You love the sinker four-seam combination, don't you?
To especially these right-handed hitters, but where he walked the 3 against Sacramento.
Right.
And then right back on to save the game on Friday.
Slider misses down. 2-0 on Vientos. 1 for 3 today. 3 for 11 in the series for Vientos. He's been on fire. Of course, this whole Mets team has been sizzling for about a month now. Very upright stance. Tucks the left shoulder in. Cocks the bat high over the right. Swings and pops it up by home plate. Wind is a howling wind. Doesn't bother Jake Rogers at all. He just waits for it to come nicely back to him. Makes the catch. didn't have to move. I think the wind actually brought it back to him as it spun toward the stands.
Did you see how weak that pop-up was, too? There's a great example of that sinker boring in on the hands of the right-handed hitting Vientos, and just was not expecting it, was saying, oh, here it comes, and then it just shoots right in there, kind of tries to pull his hands in and weakly pops that up to Jake Rogers.
Whatever the ups and downs might be over the course of a season, there will always be ups and downs. You're always going to feel differently. Wow. Slider bounces 6 feet in front of home plate, goes off of Jake Rogers back to the screen. Down to second base goes Nimmo. Now that's a wild pitch. Wow.
Well, that had everybody ducking. I mean, Jake Rogers was ducking. Sean Barber was ducking.
Jake's got a little smile on his face like, well, I guess we're going to throw a wild pitch. It might as well be really wild.
Get your money's worth there, yeah.
But Dan, just even when Will Vest might have some struggles, or like you say, has an outing that clearly he's frustrated with, he bounces right back. You never see it carry into the next outing. The body language on the mound is always, I'm going to beat you with my best stuff.
But I think he's got 4 pitches, too. He doesn't throw that changeup very much, but the 4-seam and sinker are really good. The slider to lefties and righties, but, those 3 pitches, and then that changeup is a weapon also.
Fastball away, 3-0 on Jeff McNeil very quickly. McNeil's 6 for 10 in this series, plus a walk today. He's had a very good series. Left-handed batter, 3-0. Fastball outer third for a called strike 1. McNeil came in hitting .260. OPS just over 800. Gives you good at-bat. It's like another Brandon Nimmo. The 3-1. Down and away with the slider. 2-out walk. Walk rate just below 3 per 9 for Will Vest. Strikeout rate at 10 per 9. This is his 56th appearance of the year. Again, if you're just tuning in, Kyle Finnegan left after warming up, ready to come into the game. He had to go into the clubhouse to get treatment for right groin tightness. You hope that's better than, a right groin strain, but it's worrisome. Like you said, that's his push-off leg. Marte takes a pitch inside ball 1. Now a jam job, ground ball to short. McKinstry will charge field, flip to Torres for the force on McNeil at second base. Nice job. Sinker eats up Starling Marte. Grounds into the inning-ending force.
Shohei Ohtani doesn't make any sense. A hitter that pitches and steals bases. No way. A living legend who's this humble? No way. Ohtani isn't a one-way player or a two-way player. He's a no-way player.
Guess who that is? Roger McDowell.
Check him out. He has his uniform on upside down with the shoes on the hand, and it looks like he's walking on his hands. Has his cap hanging down. That's supposed to be his head. Well, the Mets really trying to turn it around. They do, however, trail in this ball game 4-0. I love that.
The D Las Vegas. It's your home for Detroit sports in Vegas.
Eighth inning today is brought to you by Hatfield Foods. Better care, better pork. Bottom of the 8th inning, 6-2 Tigers. Javi Baez at the plate. First pitch bounces over in the left-handed batter's box. 8-9-1 hitters, Baez, Rogers, and Andy Ibanez. Swinging a soft tap foul down the third base line. Justin Hagenman in his second inning of work at the last out last inning. The rookie's made just 19 appearances. This is a guy they will use in long relief. The 1-1, swinging a ground ball wide of third. Vientos to his left will field it. 360 spin and throw. Get Javi Baez at first by a full step. 1 up, 1 down. Baez finishes the day 0 for 4. Tigers took the early lead on a Jake Rogers single in the second inning. Mets tied it up on a couple of doubles in the third inning off Casey Mize, Lindor, and Alonso. 2-run single from Riley Green with 2 outs in the fifth inning. Soft fly ball into left field. Brandon Nimmo will come in and make the catch. Jake Rogers just softly flies out on the first pitch. 2-run single. That was the at-bat of the game until the Carpenter home run. But the Riley Green left-on-left matchup against Gregory Soto brought in to face Riley Green on an 0-2 pitch. Really good at-bat.
It was.
You were surprised he went with the sinker.
I was. Just how tough it was on the previous sliders to foul him off.
Hagenman's cutter is a little bit low, ball 1. Starter for the most part in the minor leagues. Bounce back and forth, kind of a swing man last year at AAA. Same this year at AAA. Didn't have a lot of success, but still got the call. Line drive foul down the third baseline. Mets, remember, have needed pitching, and he's done a solid job to start his major league career. 19 innings of work. 3.20 ERA with just 2 walks and 20 strikeouts. The 2-1. Swinging a fly ball, left center field. Nimmo toward the track in left center makes the catch 10 feet shy of the track. Ibanez's first at-bat of the day is a long fly ball out. Head of the 9th inning. Rafael Montero coming on.
Shohei Ohtani doesn't make any sense. A hitter that pitches and steals bases. No way. A living legend who's this humble? No way. Ohtani isn't a one-way player or a two-way player. He's a no-way player.
Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
Get Motor City Clean at Clean Express Auto Wash and wash anywhere with our Wash Smart Unlimited membership, the official car wash of the Detroit Tigers.
49, that's Comerica. Rafael Montero starting to put together some pretty nice outings. Takes over on the mound to protect this 6-2 lead in the 9th.
The last 6 have been scoreless, and some of those little tweaks that the Tigers have done since they've brought him over are starting to show their effectiveness.
Brett Beatty, a lefty at the plate. First pitch splitter for a strike. Right away, he said they immediately noticed after a couple of outings, and this is what the Tigers do so well, Dan. Okay, they've got ideas when you come, but let's watch you for a couple of outings. Swinging a fly ball, slicing down the left field line. Long run for Riley Green, and that one will get into the seats. Actually landed in foul territory out of our view. It's 0-2 on Beatty. Watch for a little bit, and then they've got ideas. And for him, it was all about his fingers had started to spread apart on the four-seam grip, bring them together. The ball was moving too much because the way it was coming off his fingers, bring them together, and now it's more true spin, and the ball's not cutting as much or moving as much, and he's throwing more strikes.
And that's got that little bit more carry to that fastball and less of that arm side run that you were talking about. And then it just comes and pairs real nicely with that split finger that he's throwing just a little bit slower.
0-2, there it is. Bottom rail with the slider. Beautiful mix. Splitter, fastball, slider, and Beatty was flummoxed by the combination.
Yeah, that's said slider, but it sure reacted like a split finger.
It looked like it. Beatty didn't like the call. That it was right there, though, at the bottom rail. Now Luis Torrens takes fastball 95. But again, locating that fastball, you look at the strike throwing. Doesn't always work out, but the Tigers certainly have figured out a way with many guys. If they figure, okay, he's got the attributes, we can get him into the strike zone. Line drive, diving grab, it short by Zach McKinstry. Lunging to his left. Zach McKinstry makes a fine catch. 2 outs in the ninth.
Yeah, just a little poke up the middle. Just trying to get a base runner, get something started for the Mets. And Zach McKinstry says, not on my watch. Laid out right up the middle with a fine play for that second out. Now just don't want Juan Soto coming up. Just finish the game right here with Francisco Lindor.
6-2 Tigers in the ninth. Crowd on their feet here at Comerica Park. Montero on the mound steps off. Jake Rogers will go out. They want to get on the same page. Lindor 1 for 3 with a walk today. Riley Green's 2-run single in the 5th inning gave the Tigers a 3-1 lead. Casey Mize left the game after 5 strong innings. A run in the 6th inning for the Mets. That charge to Tyler Holton to make it 3-2, but Tommy Kane to get out of a bases-loaded jam by getting an inning-ending double play off the bat of Starling Marte, helped out by swinging at the first pitch. And then in a 3-2 game, Helsley on the mound, Colt Keith single, Gleyber Torres walk, and a Kerry Carpenter. I mean, just a line drive home run to right field. 23rd of the year was a 3-run shot, and that put the Tigers on top 6-2. Pulled away from the Mets. This powerful Mets offense held to 2 runs. 2 outs in the 9th inning. First pitch, fastball, middle for a called strike 1. 95, 96 consistently on the fastball.
Isn't that nice to see, Dan? Just going right at these hitters.
The strike 1. Fastball away. Suddenly, Rafael Montero is going to become maybe a big piece at the back end of the bullpen, but this is now a couple of times because of his command issues. He wasn't being entrusted with the lead. Now he's being entrusted with the lead. Fastball off the plate and in. It was a gradual process to get him here. Closed out a 5-0 win in Kansas City. Now trying to close out a 6-2 win. The 2-1. Swing and a miss. Dynamite splitter down and away.
Look at that movement to that thing. That was just diving away from Francisco Lindor. Just enough off of it also, so it had him way out in front. Thinking the fastball was coming 2-1.
Everybody on their feet, urging Montero to close this out. The 2-2 pitch. Off the plate and in. Busted him in with the fastball. Soto casting a large shadow from the on-deck circle. Montero wants to end this one right here. Lindor batting lefty against the righty. The 3-2. Away. Missed with the splitter. Lindor reaches for the 3rd time today. He'd only reached a couple of times in the first 2 games. Tigers will play behind him at first. He'll likely take second on defensive indifference. Juan Soto 1 for 3 with a walk today. He's had a big series. First pitch splitter off the plate, called strike 1. Wow, that's a heck of a call. That's a ball's width and a half off the plate.
Yeah.
In, and that's right where the umpire is set up. Sean Barber says strike 1. The strike 1 bounces up to home plate, soft body block for Jake Rogers. So again, defensive indifference gets Francisco Lindor down to second base.
Boy, what a clinic block that was by Jake Rogers. Just surrounded it and put his hands right down and just smothered that ball.
The 1-1. Away with the splitter. 2-1 on Soto. Mets need 2 more base runners to bring the potential tying run to the plate, but you're in the part of the order right now where every hitter is a threat to go deep. Want to end it right here. Soto grounded out his last time up. The 2-1. Swinging a high pop-up. Left field, Riley Green waving his arms under it, and he makes the catch. Tigers take the finale from the Mets. Strong start from Casey Mize. Great work from the bullpen, and big 2-out hits from Riley Green and Kerry Carpenter. Our final score, the Tigers take the finale against the Mets. Salvage 1, the Tigers 6, and the New York Mets 2.
GMC trucks weren't built overnight. Like every American achievement, they are a result of dedication. Over 100 years dedicated to the art of engineering.